Okay, just a little technical glitch. We had forgot to start the recording. Okay, so yeah, I think everyone else is there in the breakout room. Perfect. This is good. Now let's bring up our Toastmaster of the day, who's going to guide us through today's session. As of now, let's give a round of applause to our Toastmaster Maruthesh sir, who will be guiding us through the whole session. Over to you, Maruthesh sir.
Thank you, Suryadeep. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and dear guest. I am Maruthesh and I am your Toastmaster of the evening. Today's theme is every person is a new door of different world, and I choose this topic because every person think that they have some inferiority complex to do anything, but they, because of their inferiority complex, they will not take the opportunities. Yes, there are world knowledge is like a ocean. We can attract little much by interacting with others. When we interact with others, we'll come to know about that, and we will get an opportunity to help up our knowledge. With this, I want to share my experience in the Toastmaster. I remember I went to the Toastmaster meeting, laugh out loud. Toastmaster. It was a very humorous Toastmaster meeting, and starting I was very shy to take the table topic. When I entered to the meeting, there was a table topic session is going on, and I was very shy, and I used to think I want to log out from this, because there are very good speaker, international speakers. They used to talk very well, and I used to trying to leave the meeting. Then anyhow, I kept in present mode, and TABASSUM ma'am suggest me my name for the table topic master. Then the table topic master asked me a question, and I was very afraid to speak. Anyhow, that is the first humorous speech I spoken in my life, and anyhow I spoke, and I was very upset whether I spoke well or not. Then TABASSUM ma'am encouraged me. You spoke very well, and also he guided me to write a humorous speech that really transformed my life. And now I am wrote on two humorous speech, and also I presented in my club, and I got a good inspiration. Like this, for everyone, we have some fear what people will judge us, or we will what people will think, but we should not shy. For every person, that they whatever they learned, that will be new for them, and when we join there and we learn something, that will be easy to us in future. Like with this, uh, with this, I will move to the prepared speeches. First, icebreaking speeches is given by Kavya. His speech title is "A Make Time." I hand over to the Kavya to present his speech. Over to Kavya.
Kavya ma'am, you're not audible.
Can you hear me, sir?
No, you're not audible, ma'am. Kindly speak a little loudly.
I'm audible now, sir?
Yes.
Shall I start? There is one thing that we all have in common. Every one of us has the same 24 hours a day, and it is entirely up to us how we use them and spend them in the things that are most important and significant to us. Hello there, everyone. I am Kavya. I'm the founder of Time Influencer Hub, and I am on the mission to help 100,000 students increase their productivity by using my time monitoring formula to help them invest their time rather than spend it. As far as my credentials are concerned, I have a bachelor degree in computer science, master degree in management, and I'm currently pursuing my PhD in management. I am currently employed as an assistant professor in Hyderabad. I am a voracious listener and reader of various books on time management and personal growth. I always believe that what we think, that we become, that our thoughts shape who we are as an individual, that if we believe that we are strong and confident, we will be, and vice versa. And extremely very happy and proud mother of 2 children, and think that as a woman, I must be financially and emotionally self-sufficient. One of the reason for becoming the member of the speechcraft is to work on my setbacks of being introvert and not able to connect with the people quickly. I remember when I was at the beginning of my professional career, I was so messed up with so many different kinds of activities and roles to play as a mother, as a wife, as a daughter-in-law, as a teacher, and as a student. I struggled a lot to manage all these roles and give my best in each of them only after understanding and learning the different tactics of time management and trying to implement that in my daily life. And to my surprise, I was able to do so. Many number of times by reading this different kinds of books, I came to know time is one such kind of resource which once used up cannot be brought us back again. So it is very important for us to introspect. Are we actually investing or spending our time on the things that are most important and significant to us? And are we really making time for those things which are generally help us in moving towards our passion? Thank you so much.
Yeah, really, I accept your speech. Time is money, and time is very precious. That once we waste our time, that will not come again. Every time we want to use it in a worthy way, then that will help for our future. Really, I like your speech. Moving to the second speaker. The second speaker is because
TMOD, sorry for the interruption. I guess the speaker has to be evaluated then and there.
yeah.
Am I right?
Sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
The first speaker evaluator is Yogeshwari. I request Yogeshwari to evaluate the first speaker. Over to you, Yogeshwari.
Thank you so much. Miss Kavya, I wonder how you could connect in a very first instant, very few seconds of your opening speech. You started with something common between all of us. Yes, we all have 24 hours, but how many of us invest it and how many of us spend it? So that sums up who you are entirely. And you have succeeded being an icebreaker speech, giving an icebreaker speech. That was really awesome. Kudos to you. To proceed with that, you have started that who you are. You started with your name. Brilliant. You started that you are a founder of an organization. You are a mother. You are a student. You are playing multiple roles. So that gives us a brief summary of who you are all these years to people around you. And you have very beautifully transitioned that to tell why you are here. You are here because you wanted to overcome your introvert feelings or your thoughts. Kudos to you for telling this to everybody. And then you spoke about that your entire goal of your lifetime is to talk about time management. Congratulations on that, on your journey. And I have two suggestions just to add on with and to take your speech to the next level. One is your eye contact. Yes, you do have a better eye contact, but if you could look into the lens and talk looking into the lens, I believe that you will have a better eye contact with your audience. Number two, you have a brilliant body language. So if you could place your camera a little away so that we could see your entire gesture, your natural body language. So with these two, a wonderful speech, kudos to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Definitely, I'll follow your suggestions.
Yeah, I hope I'm audible. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Yeah, thank you, Yogeshwari. Our next speaker is Vikas. Vikas' speech title is My Perfect Failure. I request Vikas to please unmute your microphone. Over to Vikas.
Our first step towards success is failure. Yogi Bhajan. Very good evening to you all eminent Toastmasters and my fellow speech crafters. Today I will talk about the perfect failure. Some of you must be thinking, is this fellow out of his mind? He's talking about failure and that too perfect. Yes, my dear friends, we all have failures in our life. And it is important that what we learn from our failures, and that makes those failures important. I remember December 2019, it was a school function in my son's school, and my son was winning an award in football. So they were calling all students along with their parents on the stage. Parents, they have to speak about their awards. So they called my son's name. I also went to stage along with my son. I was on the podium. I have all the thoughts in my mind that what I will speak. But unfortunately, all of a sudden, when I was about to speak, my hand starts shivering. My throat has gone dry. I could not speak more than 2 to 3 sentences. I just glanced at my son's face. He was disappointed. This was not the end of the story. Exactly after 2 months, I was attending a workshop along with my colleagues. Around 150 colleagues from all over India were attending that workshop. That was about team building. So instructor, he called me to speak about team building. When I was on the stage, once again, when I saw so many eyeballs concentrated on me, I was taken aback. My words fumbled, and again my throat gone dry. And that was my second failure. So these back-to-back two failures made me to think that what I have to do, what should I do to be a public speaker so that I can remove this fear of public speaking. I start searching internet. Then I came across the current mentors webinar, details about that webinar. So I attended that webinar. And then I attended his course. I learned the basic skills and techniques of public speaking. So friends, if I would have not been through those perfect failures, I would not have been here in front of you giving the icebreaker. So dear friends, failures are important and they are perfect. If you learn lessons from them and from those lessons, you try to convert those failures into success, then those failures are perfect failures. We all have failures. And how many of us have learned from those failures? That is the important question. And that I want to ask from you. Do you have perfect failures? And if answer is yes, how many of you have converted those perfect failures into successes. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Very nice speech. There is one quote: who didn't achieve anything, he didn't try anything. Every person who achieved something has failed in before. You spoke very well about the failure. Thank you, Vikas. Now I will request Dr. Toastmaster Rashmi to evaluate Vikas' speech. Over to Toastmaster Rashmi.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, yes, you are. You are.
Am
Yeah,
I
you are
audible
audible
and
and
visible?
visible.
Yeah, you are
Okay.
audible and visible.
Yeah. Good evening, Toastmasters, non-Toastmasters, and all the speech crafters, and Toastmaster Vikas in particular. So your speech was amazing. I really loved your speech. It kept me hooked right from the beginning of your speech till the end. One of the reasons why your speech was so inspiring and so captivating is that the way you started. We all know that you can captivate the audience just in first 3 seconds, and you did that exceptionally well by starting with a quote. And your speech about the failure, wherein you were called on a stage and you couldn't speak anything, and you saw the disappointment in your son's eyes, and then you were like, you know what, I have to improve, I have to become a good public speaker. And today when you were speaking, I really can't tell that you really went on the stage and stood without knowing anything, silent. That means that you have really worked hard every single day. That improvement is seen in your speech very well. Your confidence was good. The way the expressions on your face in particular was really good. If I have to tell something to take your speech a notch level higher, one small suggestion is to avoid unnecessary body movements, like moving back and forth or to and fro like that. Stop that, so that maybe you can support it with more hand gestures, so that it will be even more impactful. Otherwise, it was really very inspiring speech. I could completely relate to your speech, and it was really nice. This speech is something that I'll remember for the rest of my life. Thank you so much for that wonderful speech. All the very best for your further speeches.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Toastmaster Rashmi, for your evaluation. Our next speaker is Suresh Babu. Suresh Babu speech title is Honesty is the Best Policy. I request Suresh Babu to please unmute your microphone. Over to you.
Bank officials coming to your office and handing over a 50-rupee note, which they collected from you by mistake. Can you believe it? I experienced this, but not in India, but in Japan. Hi, amazing Toastmasters and speechcrafters. In the year 1996, I was in Japan in a medical equipment factory. One day, we three group engineers, we went to the bank for changing the US dollar to Japanese yen. We did our transactions. We came back to the factory. After some time, a group of officials from the bank, they came to the factory in a hired taxi. They told us, by mistake, they had collected 100 yen extra from us. They returned that 100 yen. They gave us a gift also, and they apologized to us for the mistake what they did. I think for all this, they would have spent more than 1,000 yen. Then I realized for them, honesty is more important than the money. I was really fascinated by their honesty and work culture. For them, work is like a god. They worship the work. Every day, before starting the work, they will list down what and all to be done that day. They will take an oath that they will complete all the listed work, and only after completing all that work, they will go home. I was really mesmerized by their dedication to the work and honesty. My experience in Japan was a turning point in my life. That experience helped me to build a strong foundation for my business ideas. In the year 2000, I started my business as a medical equipment dealer in Kerala. Now, my company is #1, a medical equipment dealer in our area. So when I look back to the 20 years of successful entrepreneur journey, I have a deep satisfaction in my mind of achieving my business goals and personal goals. So from my experience, I believe honesty is the best policy for a successful business. What about you? Over to Toastmaster.
Yeah, very well spoken, Suresh Babu. I request every members to give feedback on the chart, either privately or everyone after every speech finish. Now I will request Dr. Toastmaster Rashmi to evaluate the Suresh Babu speech. Over to Toastmaster Rashmi.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, Toastmaster Suresh. And I really liked your speech wherein you shared your experience when you went to Japan. And you were talking about how the honesty is the best policy, because in the business or in whatever the things that you're doing, if you don't have the honesty, then it will not take you for a long. You can't run it for a long. That's something that a message that you gave. I really like the message that you had and the experience that you went through, which actually made you think about how honesty is actually the best policy. And talking about the strengths, I liked the way you spoke with confidence. I liked the way you paced your words. It was not too fast, it was not too slow, it was clear, and it was really very captivating, if I can say that way. And also, you did talk about asking us. You ended your speech by asking us our opinion, and that made me think about, is honesty really the best policy? Will being honest every time actually make us succeed? So these are the things that I started thinking the moment you asked me that question. That was really a nice way of ending. And maybe I was listening to you like a hawk, and I couldn't find any areas of improvement in this particular speech. However, this speech, since it demands a speaker to talk more about themselves, maybe if you could have told a little bit more about yourself, like where you're from, and little maybe your hobbies and what you really like. So maybe you could have taken the speech a notch level higher. Otherwise, your speech, all in all, it was really good, and I really liked it. All the very best for your further speeches. Thank you so much for that wonderful speech. Over to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Toastmaster Rashmi, for your evaluation. Our next speaker is Ashutosh Sinha. His speech title is "Be Tortoise, Not Rabbit." I request Ashutosh Sinha to please unmute your microphone. Over to you.
Hi, fellow speakers. Good evening. You might have heard the famous story of the race between tortoise and rabbit, which ends with a moral, slow and steady wins the race. I have been one rabbit who was very proud of his ability to running the last minute sprints, achieving the milestones just on time, even after taking the rest during the run. Parkinson's law says, work expands itself as per the time available for its accomplishment. Work expands itself as per the time available for its accomplishment. I have somehow mesmerized and learned this law subconsciously during my college days in engineering course and practicing it rigorously. My project submissions were last minutes. I was champion of studying only one night and passing the examinations. Slowly and gradually, I was becoming a stronger rabbit who was very proud of his skill set to do the last minute sprints. As the time moved on, I have joined the sales as a profession, and during my journey of 15 years as a sales profession, I have excelled this skill very much, probably due to the nature of my job. It was only in November of 2018, I had been called by my management team in one of the meeting one day. Thereupon, I was told my department needs to be transferred from my current place where I'm working to another department. It was an internal job transfer. I considered it as a setback. The new department was newly set up and was a lower value than the current department. I was very surprised and astonished why this happened to me. I was a good performer. Still, it happened to me. After introspection, I realized it was the rabbit inside me who was responsible for. I am thinking, how can I change this thing? I have awakened the tortoise within me and started working consistently on achieving new skills, like practicing yoga, learning some new technical skills every day. Robin Sharma says, every change is hard at the beginning, messier in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. I'm in a messier state right now. I know that rabbit inside me still awakes. But I know I will be a tortoise very soon. If you are a tortoise, congratulations. But if you are a rabbit, join the journey with me to become a tortoise. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Yeah, very well spoken, Ashutosh. Really, I like the comparison of tortoise and rabbit. And one thing I would like to share, rabbit breathe very fast, and the life expectation of rabbit is very less, and the tortoise breathe very less. Because of that, the life expectancy is very high. And I also am instructor. Very well spoken.
Great.
Now I would request. Now I would request Dr. Suryadeep to evaluate Ashutosh. Over to you, Suryadeep.
You are on mute. You are
The
on.
rabbit always proceeds faster than the tortoise. It goes without saying. But your speech, Ashutosh sir, was a clear reminder of how important it is that we follow direction more than speed. I really admire the title of your speech to begin with. Absolutely crisp. And it, as an audience, it sparked that curiosity in me. Instantly, I was hooked into the little quotes, the anecdotes, the lessons that you inculcated and amalgamated beautifully, phenomenally with your personal experience. You also had this beautiful, subtle touch of humor when you mentioned you've done PhD in studying late night before the exam. I also loved how you made sure you connected your stories with facts and quotes along with your life. The blend is what earmarks the characteristic traits of an exuberant and exceptional public speaker. Every single element was right there. Having said that, since this is a journey where you are crafting your speeches and you want to take your skills to the next level, I have a very few subtle pointers. The first one would be, please do not start your speeches by wishing everyone good evening, everyone. Start with a very generalized, maybe a very interesting way in which you can connect with the audience with the content that you have. I remember the time when I was in college. That would instantly create a bond with the audience. Number two would be, you may want to stand and speak so that you can use your hands and your body language to create more and more gestures. That would create an instant rapport. Lastly, obviously, when you look into the camera, into the lens, we can get to see your eyes. So with that, I love the stories. I love the facts. I love how beautifully you put it all together and presented us this delicious dessert. Loved your speech. All the very best for your upcoming speeches. Over to you,
Thank you.
Maldesh, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ashutosh, for your good evaluation. Our last speaker is Dr. Rajeshwari. His speech title is Love and Purpose. I request Dr. Rajeshwari to please unmute your microphone. Over to you.
3 weeks back, I stumbled upon a FB post, and as usual, I was about to scroll it down when something caught my attention, and I landed up here. A big thank you to Toastmaster Dr. Suryadeep and Yogi, who launched this Speak Your Soul Speech Crafters Club. And I also thank my fellow speech crafters who are in the same journey as me. Love, it gives life a purpose. It gives life a meaning. Yes, love and purpose. I clearly remember on 26th August 2016, my beloved was admitted to the hospital for fever of unknown origin, and he suddenly started spitting blood. He had just started his entrepreneurship journey. His dreams lay shattered there, and his eyes were looking at me blank. After 8 hours of frantic search, I finally found a ventilator. The same situation which we faced during the early pandemic. After 15 days of battle, on 9th September 2016, he left. He left to become my guiding star up there. Me, being in the medical profession, was just left witnessing all the procedures with great agony. My hands were tied in invisible chains of not being able to give him any homeopathic treatment, as this was not in their policies. This made me think and rethink of all the medical policies and how people are deprived of their right to treatment of their choice. To my grief, my past started rolling in scenes of all my memories with him. And I looked back. I looked back to the days when I was just 15 and he proposed me love. And we got married with the blessings of all the elders on April 9th. It was 1986. The universe, it had planned us to be eternal companions with a purpose. As love betroths love, it was his ambitions, integrity, aspirations, and love that made me what I am today, that made me stick to him through all the thick and thin for 30 years of life, of a roller coaster ride. Life is to grow through what we go through. I am Dr. Rajeshwari Rapata, now in love with a purpose. I developed a course on emergency medical conditions, CPR, first aid, and the role of homeopathy in dealing with it. I have pledged to empower people with life-saving skills. I got my love and the purpose. Did you find your love and purpose? Over to you, Toastmasters.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Rajeshwari. And I request Dr. Suryadeep Majumdar to evaluate Dr. Rajeshwari's speech. Over to Suryadeep.
It is said that love and life brings you elements of grace. As I went through your speech, Rajeshwari ma'am, I was just mesmerized and spellbound with your touch of personal story. So and so that I forgot to write down and note down what I was supposed to say. I love the way you inculcated quotes. Love gives life a purpose, or even grow through what we go through. Wonderfully blended with your personal story of your beloved. I also loved how magically you used words of affection, wonderfully carved out with your expressions. Words like shattered, blank, and expressions, and the voice modulation that added with it gave your entire speech a flavor through which we all could resonate with at a deeper level. Having said that, every single super hit speech deserves to be a blockbuster. And I have a few points that can definitely turn this speech to one. The first would be, you slightly exceeded your time limit. There's a 30-second grace, but you exceeded it. And you could have prevented that by not thanking in your speech. You could have straight away started with, I remember, and then went on by talking about your beloved. You repeated the words love and purpose 3 times in the initial couple of seconds, with stressing on it, yes, which is good, but it eats away a little bit of your time and also may distract the audience. Number 3 would be, if you are talking about your signature story or personal story, we want voice modulation. I was there with my beloved. I'm being a little critical because you are such an amazing speaker. Overall, I loved how magically you give us, you opened the doorway towards your personal stories. You opened the doorway towards your vocabulary bank, and how you use voice modulation and amalgamated words. If you can work on these fine tunings, I'm sure in the upcoming speeches, you are going to be a blockbuster speaker for sure. Over to you, Manudesh.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sudeep. With this, we came into our first segment. I hope you all enjoyed this speeches. Our next segment is education segment. Shall we wait for a few minutes to?
Yes, sir. We will just wait for the table topics to get over. Meanwhile, we can just have a poll for the best speaker. So we are launching the poll. Kindly vote. Poll is right there in front of you. You want to vote for the best speech of the day. I hope everybody is done voting. Okay, so I'm going to end the poll. Okay, so what we will be doing?
Can I?
Yes.
I have a thing here. So in the breakout room, TT, both of them were not able to launch the poll.
Okay.
So how can we help them?
Okay, so what I will do is I'll just quickly go to the breakout room and I will launch that poll. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Meanwhile, we'll just give us a few minutes. As soon as the table topics and everything is done, we will all be back and we will start with the next session. So I'll just be back.
Okay. TMOD Marutesh, if you have something to talk on your topic, like you can proceed right now.
Yeah. Thank you, Yogeshwari.
Yeah, thank you.
As the topic, every person is a new door to a different world. And I request the members if you have any achievement that you have faced before, it was very difficult, and if that you have achieved after few days, if any such story is there, I request to member to share any such stories. Either you can raise your hand or mute your microphone. Yeah. Over to you,
Hello.
Tabassum.
Yeah, good evening all, and Marutesh, great job as a T-Mod. One suggestion I would like to give, what smile you have right now, I want to see that smile more often in you. Because as a T-Mod, you are very, very serious when you are introducing the speaker. So I want you to smile more often. And yes, kudos to all of you. I loved all your speeches. So it didn't feel that this is a speechcraft session, because for the icebreaker, other than Kavya and to some extent, I would say Dr. Rajeshwari, most of you chose a topic, and that is okay, because icebreaker is something you should be in your comfort zone. It doesn't mean you have to speak about your journey or who you are. You can select a topic and speak on, like how Suresh Babu spoke about honesty is the best policy from Japan. So I would say I really enjoyed all your speeches. In fact, I was sitting and making notes as well. So great going. Here, a reaction of applause for all of you. And I can
Thank
see
you.
all the
Thank
table
you, Tabassum.
topic gang is back here. So T-Mod, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Tabassum. Is there any other members
Yes,
who would
I
like to
think
speak?
we have.
Yeah, okay.
They were not able to vote in the breakout room. What we'll be doing is
Okay.
we'll be launching a poll. They're requesting only the table topic speakers, those who are there in the breakout room, to kindly vote. Here, we are requesting you to kindly cancel the poll. Okay, please do not vote. Let's allow those who are in the table topics room to vote. So here's the poll in front of you all.
I have a doubt.
Yes, sir.
So we will vote anybody apart from ourselves, right?
No, no, no. You can vote yourself also.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, so I'm ending the poll now. Perfect. Yes, Marutesh, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Suresh. Now we came to our final segment, which is education segment on organization of speech and speech purpose. The speaker of this session is Tabassum. I request Tabassum to please unmute and present your presentation. Over to you.
Thank you so much, dearest T-Mod Marutesh, for once again introducing me, and a warm, warm good evening to all of you. Let's give a smile. Yeah, my name means smile, and that's what I expect. Yes, it charges up and enlightens the mood. And I have my mentor here, who is the advisor, DTM Gayatri. Hello. So nice to have you here. So today we are going to have organizer speech, and I think your speeches were very well organized. So in fact, I was observing all of you to see that, where I can take it ahead. But I'm really glad, especially Kavya, who's an assistant professor, or we have someone, I think Ashutosh, who has 15 years, or uh, uh, Suresh Babu. Suresh Babu, who is already in the sales line, but yet, kudos to you that when you saw the speechcraft, you want to take it ahead and you want to learn more, so that's a very, very positive sign. I could see many, many elements which were already in your speeches, but definitely we are all here to improve. So whenever you invest your time, there is always a scope of learning. So let's begin with organizing your speech. Do I have the yes, I can share. 1 second. Okay, yeah. Your speech. Your speech should be as alluring as a wonderful cup of tea coffee, beverages, vodka, wine, whatever charges you up, it should be, your speech should be like that. Organize a speech. What is the purpose of your speech? What is the first thing? What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you want to craft a speech? Anyone, just unmute yourself and say, I have my screen on, so I'm not able to see all the audience, but I can hear you. And I'm on the spotlight, so my screen will not be disturbed. Just unmute and say, what is the first thing that you think about when you think of a speech? Quickly.
Convey the message.
Yeah, sharing our knowledge or maybe
Sharing our knowledge.
Getting a standing
Convey our
ovation from
message.
the audience.
Getting a standing ovation. Yes, yes. I know we all like to be validated.
it should
What
not be
else?
boring.
It should not be boring. Yes, I agree with all of you. Whatever you have said is right. But the first purpose is like, after I have invested my time of 10 minutes, what is the take home message? What is it that you want your audience to remember you with? What is it that you want your audience to take with them? I am here, I'm speaking. Okay, people will forget what you said. People will forget what I'm trying to say, but you will not forget how I made you feel. You will not forget how Suresh Babu took us to Japan and he was talking about the honesty, or we have another speaker talking about the tortoise and hare, like when we are imagining. So it is not about narrating. Whenever you say a speech, don't narrate it. It's not about narration. It's not about telling. When you craft your speech, ensure that you take the person there. The person is living your speech. The person is imagining your speech. So that is what a person will never forget how you made them feel at the beginning. The first thing, as I said, is objective. What you want your audience to take home. Number 2 is your speech topic. If I'm not mistaken, Surya, have you covered it last time, the speech topic, where you can get the speech topic from your daily life, from your friends, your personal stories? Surya, have you covered it last time?
Yes, ma'am, I have covered it, but it would be good if you also covered it.
Well,
Experience matters.
I'll run short of time, but I feel, the audience are amazing because today, look at the topic, time management, perfect failures. Then honesty is the best policy. Love gives you a purpose in life. I think already you have amazing speech topic, and I'm sure the second half also will be having great speech topic. Know your audience. Designing a presentation without an audience in mind is like writing a love letter and addressing it to whomsoever it may concern. You need to know the audience, like who is the audience. I will take time out and I will see who the audience is and how I can connect with them. If I start speaking to you about in the Middle East, you get this baklava. It's so yummy and sweet dishes. You will not relate with it. Like, what is this baklava? Dipped in some shiras or something. But if I tell you, the paisam, which is like golden color, jaggery in the paisam, and you have sago seeds, sabudana, those pearls on the paisam, you will relate with it if I talk to you about paisam. Am I right? Yes, I can see Yogeshwari's mouth is already watering with the name of paisam. But also in your audience, it depends on how you take it. Like there was the Arab audience here. In one of my speech, I explained about pani puri, and I said those, pani puri, those wheat balls, little spicy, little sweet, and when you pop it in your mouth, it feels like mmm. And there were 1 or 2 Arabs who actually became fan of pani puris. So you have to know your audience and how you can convey your message. Wait, what happened? 1 second. Okay. Now I'm going to give you some pointers. I hope you have your pen and paper. So please write down these pointers. And I'm going to deliver a short speech. So it will be very easy for me to show you. Rather than explaining to organize a speech, I will deliver a short speech with which you can highlight these pointers. Point number 1, what is the title of my speech? How did I open my speech? What was my type of speech? Inspiring, persuasive, educational, humorous, motivating? Did I have technique of storytelling? Did I have characters in my speech? Did I have some kind of voice modulation? How was my body language? Stage movement, did I have any? Facial expression, how were they? Language. Did I have some humor? Use of humor? Did I use some props? And how was my closing? Last, did I have a call for action? So are you ready with these pointers? And now I will give you a short speech, 5 to 6 minutes. So just give me 2 seconds to have my stage area. Okay. Are you ready? Come, I need to see reactions. Okay,
Yes.
just give me a second.
Dr. Suryadip?
Okay. So now, yeah, the title of my speech is Rise. So here I begin. Who pushed me in the water? I have aquaphobia. Dear speech crafters and Toastmasters, since childhood, I have this aquaphobia. Every time I put my head under the water, I feel I'm drowning, I'm drowning, I'm drowning. And that was the reason I never learned how to swim. And I was okay. I'm not a fish. I'm dying out of water. But one day, something happened. I joined Toastmasters. Every meeting that I went had a motivational theme, a motivational speech. Step out of your comfort zone. Face your fear. Rise from your fear of public speaking. Rise from any fears. Charged. I joined a swimming class. The very first day, the instructor said, jump. My legs froze. I just couldn't. Dejected. I decided, forget about swimming. But still, like Toastmasters, they gave me a participation certificate. I went home and showed it off to my 10 years old daughter, Sanya. Sandu. Immediately she hugged me and said, Mama, you're my hero. Let's go to Thailand. Thailand? Why Thailand? Mama, because there are a lot of water sports there. I tell you, kids of today are such opportunists. My stubborn daughter Sanya, she ensured that holidays we land in Thailand. My very first day was amazing. I went for shopping, 70% sale. Next day, the tour guide said, Madam, today we go scuba diving. 30 feet underwater just to feed some fishes. Cancel. I decided to stay back at the hotel and feed myself some fishes. Fish fry, fish peri peri, my favorite. But my stubborn Sanya started again. Mama, you're not a hero. You're a big villain. You are spoiling my holidays, Mama. Are you one of those parents who say a strict no and then give in to your child's demand? Most of we parents are like that. As a mother, however coward I'm from inside, I always show courage to my daughter. We landed at the boat. The strict instructor fixed an oxygen mask on my head and said, jump. Hearing that word, my legs froze. Before I said a no, someone from the back just pushed me. Within seconds, I hit the bottom. I panicked. Help! Help! Suddenly, a tiny hand caught my hand. I looked into my daughter's eyes. She was petrified. Mama. I started pacifying her. She calmed down, started enjoying the fishes around her. She continued, holding on to my hand, and I, holding on to my dear life. Take deep breath. You are the mother. After 20 long minutes, which felt like 24 hours, someone just plopped us up. Tanya hugged me and said, Mama, you're my hero. Hero? I felt like a survivor. I'm alive. Dear speech crafters, what didn't kill me that day made me stronger. My one stint underwater rid me of my aqua phobia. I rejoined my swimming class. Although I don't claim to be an expert, now I can swim in shallow waters. And that, my friends, is a huge milestone for me. Life, like that unknown person, will push you into your fears without your permission. What are your fears? Speech crafters, Toastmasters, your life, COVID, family, your job. But life gives you two options. FEAR. Forget everything and run. Or FEAR. Face everything and rise. Run or rise. Rise from your fear because your loved ones are looking up to you, learning how you are responding. Rise from your fears by surrounding yourself with encouraging people like Toastmasters. Rise from your fears by taking the first step, by at least trying. And in trying, if you ever hit the bottom, it's then you will find the courage within to face your fears. FEAR. Face everything and rise. Okay, so just give me a minute. I'll be back. Okay, so here was my speech. Now let's discuss the elements. So what did I do right now? I made a speech where I could discuss all the elements rather than explaining to you what factors are involved. I made a speech where I could try as maximum as possible to cover the elements. So come on, now I would like you to unmute yourself and answer me. What was the title of the speech? Again, let's go to the pointers. Anyone just unmute?
Rise.
Rise. Check. Next, how was the opening? You need to have a powerful opening. So how did I open my speech? Did I use a dialogue, a quote, a gesture, an action? How did I start my speech?
Action.
Yes, attention grabbing action that I just fell. Next, what was the type of speech? Well, is it inspirational, motivational, educational, presentation, humorous?
It's
It can be
motivational.
multiple. Motivational. Was it humorous? Humorous as well. Yes. So you can have a type of speech. This is your general purpose. What was the general purpose was to motivate and also to have some humor element. But what was the specific purpose? Now, this was the general purpose of the speech. What was the specific purpose in my speech? What was I trying to convey? Specific purpose.
Inspirational to raise.
Rise
To
up.
Rise above fear.
rise above the fear. Yes, that was the specific purpose. Did I have element of storytelling technique?
Yes.
Yes. Because now if I'm giving a straight speech, I can give a straight speech. But this was the technique which I used was storytelling. So it will come slightly under dramatic, whereby I had to enact it. Because I'm using, like how you have grandmothers when they tell the child a story, they need to have that elements of little bit of enacting. So that was slightly dramatic because the concept was storytelling. Did I have characters? How many characters were there in my speech? Yes.
Three.
I one.
Your
Other daughter.
The coach.
Then
and the
coach.
The coach.
Then
The guide.
the guide. And the first
And the
instructor.
instructor.
Yes. So there were basically 5 characters in a speech of 7 minutes. Did I have voice modulation? Where did I modulate my voice? Did I remove people's voice? Whose voice I removed?
The daughters.
Daughter.
Yeah, the daughter. So
Waiter,
it's called
the guide.
the guide. Yeah, where I graph. Or I made a Filipino style, that Madam, today we go scuba diving. You can try to enact those. Like if you went to Japan, you can put some of those Japanese thing to add some values. Body language. Yes, I can. Did I have body language? Did I have movement? I could show you Thailand. I could show you my daughter. I could show you underwater. Did you have the feel of underwater? Okay. Now stage. Now I do know that, in virtual, if I stand up and I move, because the stage area is very little, but still this is very, very temporary phase. Sooner or later, we will be going to the stage. And that is how effectively you can use your stage, because you can't stand in one place. You need to have mobility. You don't need to go front or back. Use the podium area. So here in the limited space, I did try to use as best as I could. Facial expression, yes, I will not even ask because I'm known for my facial expressions. I would be having that sadness, that comedy. Language, was my language okay? Did I use some nice quotes, some take-home quotes in my language? Anything, any quote which I used? Anyone, just unmute. I'm on the gallery view. I can see all of you.
Fear. What a fear.
Acronym was good. Fear acronym.
Face,
The
face
fear,
everything and
FEAR,
rise.
face everything and rise.
rise.
Today
But-
in right, some quote or some kind of acronym is something which stays in your mind. So FEAR will always stay in the mind. That it is easier, and even with that, like entire story, you get this one concept and you remember the entire speech. Like how we had Ashutosh Sinha. I like that he used the quote from Robin Sharma, I think, right? It's messier, it's difficult in the front, messier in the beginning, easy at the end. So these small things remain in your mind. So always have this high moment, a hook moment in your speeches. Use of props. If you see, I used a certificate and I had that mask. I use an oxygen mask, so I had this thing. I manipulated and used an oxygen mask, the shield. How did I close? What I closed with? The acronym FEAR. And the call for action, as you know, it was about the fear. So all your speeches should have these kind of elements. It should have a strong opening, it should have a strong closing, and in between the body to support it. Now let me go back to my presentation. How much more time do I have? Timer.
Ma'am, we have time. We have time, ma'am. Like
we do have time.
Yeah, it's 7:11 right now. So your time, it's according to the agenda 7:30. Until 7:30 we have time.
Oh wow! So after 7:11, I have time till 7:30.
Yeah,
I could have given one more speech. Okay. Thank you. Okay, sorry. Okay, now the content. Now every speech should have this 3 T's. Okay, now 3 T doesn't mean tabassum, tabassum, tabassum. The 3 T's means tell them what you want to tell them. That is your opening. So always have an strong opening, which will give you a sneak peek into what is coming. See, you have just 5 to 7 minutes. Don't complicate it. So initially lead them into your speech. The next T is tell them. Tell them what is the content, what is it that you're trying to tell them, in the form of the story, in the form of your incident. What is it that you're trying to tell them? And last, very important, tell them what you told them. You always need to summarize, because what happened, people cannot remember the entire speech, whether it's a presentation, whether it is you're giving a speech. You need to have a wrap up. So opening, body, and closing. Divide your speech into 3 parts. Tell them what you want to tell them, then tell them, and last, tell them what you just told. Many people, especially in table topic, it happens with me also, in the nervousness, we do not summarize it. Or in evaluation, we do not summarize it. But just remember, summarizing, closing your speech is very important, especially if you are giving a contest. In the contest, that is when the judges are going to pen down and give you marks. Or a take-home message, what is the last always remains. Now, the summary. Yes, somebody can just unmute. Marutosh, come on, read the 3 T's for me in the summary. Marutosh?
Yeah, madam.
Yeah, read it out.
Yeah. Tell them what you want to tell them. Tell them. Tell them. Then tell them what you just told them.
Yes, and say with a smile. Marutosh, now after henceforth, whenever you're giving a meeting, I want to have that smile on your face, okay? Now, after the tea, let's come to the coffee. After the tea, there comes the coffee. The 3 C's. What are the 3 C's? Clear, concise, and compelling. Whatever you are trying to say have to be very, very clear. So don't use too much of, you can be great in your English, but you don't have to use too much of jargon language. You have to use a language which can be communicated to audience, cater to all kind of audience. So make it very, very clear. Don't add too many quotes, don't add too many punches, don't add too many characters. Make it very, very simple and clear. Concise. Stick to, you have just 5 to 7 minute speech. See the timing that you have. Just pick up one topic. Because there are times when people think, oh, I have so much information I want to give. You are very clear in your head. Okay, this is the information, but the audience is not clear. And then what happens when you give too much information, you feel satisfied, I have given the information. But what happens? The end result is nothing because people cannot absorb it. So if you are trying to communicate, just keep to so simple and 1, 2, 3 concept, not more than that. Compelling. Yes, if you are investing your time, you are giving to the audience, let it be compelling that they action it. A small example I'll give. In Baroda, I gave a table, I gave this tall tales workshop. And I gave my workshop, I gave an effective workshop, and then I went home. Went home means I was in the home only on virtual screen. Okay, so I gave the workshop. But after 1 or 2 days, the president called me up and they said that all of them, they were so happy with the workshop. They wanted to conduct a tall tale session. So whatever workshop I did, I was so satisfied from the inside that it's not that I'm just giving them the information. I have compelled them to take action, and they conducted a contest of tall tales contest. So that was, whatever you are giving it to your audience, see that it is compelling, it makes them take an action. And that is where I feel a real success. It's not monetary success, but you feel that, you have given something, a service orientation. So make your speeches compelling. Attention and retention. What am I hinting? Anyone? What is attention and what is retention? What is the meaning of attention? Attention, anyone?
We have the attention of the listeners, audience, and retain their attention as well.
Yes, actually, this is hinting at what?
Engaging, attention.
Engaging.
Yes, engaging. Yeah, actually, this is a summarization of opening and closing. Your opening should be attention grabbing, because the first 15 seconds, if you just start very shallowly, you will lose the interest of the audience. So your opening has to be attention grabbing. Always work on your opening. They say you have to by heart your opening, you have to by heart your closing. In between, even if you have pointers, you can cover it up. But your opening and your closing have to be very, very effective. So your opening has to be attention grabbing. And secondly, it has to lay the foundation for what is coming next. Your closing has to be retention. Retention in the sense, it will summarize whatever you have spoken. Summarizing is very important. And secondly, it also calls for action. So your opening has 2 purposes and your closing has 2 purposes. The opening is like laying the foundation and attention grabbing, and your conclusion is call for action and summarizing, right? And with that, it's your turn to write a speech to win heart. And as someone said, that why do you want to give a speech? You need a standing ovation. So let your speeches have a standing ovation. And last but not the least, the most important element, enjoy your speech. The speech should be a part of you that you are giving to the audience. Because if you don't enjoy a speech, trust me, no one else will. So looking forward to great speeches from all of you. All the best for your completion of Speechcraft. Back to you, Marutesh.
Thank you, Tabassu ma'am, for sharing.
Excuse me.
If
your
there are any
knowledge.
questions, I'll take some
Modi.
questions because I think there are time.
Yeah.
Yes, Tabassum, ma'am, I wanted to ask you one question.
Yes, Dr. Rajeshwari.
This icebreaker was for 3 minutes, maybe less than. So when we want to put up so many points, this clear, concise, compelling, opening, body, closing, and to grab the attention. So within 3 minutes, is it possible, or how much efforts, how to do it,
Right. For this, I will give you a classic example of jingles. Jingles means, you see, in any advertisement, have you seen these advertisements coming on television? The timings that they have is 10 to 15 seconds. Within that 10 to 15 second, there it is, the shorter your speech, the more the effort. The longer your speech, you don't need as much as effort as
that is the point.
Absolutely. In presentation, it is always less is more. So those for 15 seconds of jingle, they have to market their entire product. They have to script it in a manner that it is appealing, because they have only 10 to 15 seconds of jingle. And similarly, it applies for any speech. Even if you're giving, see, for example, table topic, you're saying that, oh, we have 3 minutes and you have 5 to 7 minutes. How do you include so many elements? But we have this contest of table topic. Since you're new here, it is 1 to 2 minutes. In 1 to 2 minutes itself, we have tell a personal story, you open it, you close it, and you have a body. Now, for example, today in 3 minutes, how many minutes you'll have? 3 minutes. And trust me, each one of you had so much to convey in those 3 minutes. Almost it was a story, like Kavya had explained to us about her background, about her education qualification, and how she is progressing. Or Ashutosh Sinha gave us a whole story about hare and tortoise. So it is not the 2 minutes or 3 minutes. And this is one of the factors of Speechcraft. Like we have Gayatri ma'am. Gayatri ma'am is 30 years of experience she has in teaching. So now, for example, for me, it is like, why will she come to Toastmasters? She's already shown, because the one objective we come is to break a public fear. So why would she come to Toastmaster? It is because she can convey her message in 10 to 15 minutes. But now she's learning to convey her message in 1 to 2 minutes. So what happens once you become a Toastmaster, you will automatically, you are seasoned to it. I have 1 to 2 minutes. So you will start and finish your speech in 1 to 2 minutes. If you know you have 3 to 5 minutes, you will script it that way. So this journey of Toastmaster will help you to concise your speech. I hope I am clear, compelling, and concise enough. Or if there is any ambiguity, I'll give you my email ID and my contact number. You can anytime get in touch with me. I can give you more clarification.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
Any other question?
Yeah, hi ma'am. I have a question regarding eye contact.
Yes.
So particularly speaking on camera, it is if I'm trying to see towards you, I try to see on the screen to your eyes. But you may see me if I'm seeing towards the lens. So it's difficult to maintain that balance. Yeah, if you have any trick regarding making a proper eye contact, particularly on online communication.
On the online, it is like, see, we humans, we can learn, unlearn, relearn anything. So this is what the champions have told me, that if you train yourself, now see, for example, okay, now I will do that, Ashutosh. I have my gallery view where I'm looking at you on the small screen and talking. So probably my eyes are here and there. Now let me look at the lens. Okay, so Ashutosh, now I'm looking at the lens and I'm talking to you. right? So this is a training. So now I have to get accustomed to looking at the camera and talking to a person. This all will come by practice, and trust me, we humans can do anything is possible. So once or twice, if you practice looking at the screen and talking, you will get the knack of it. Like for example, when I gave my speech, this was a speech which I gave at the district level and I lost, but at least I reached the district level with this speech, I would say. So there, when I'm talking about the daughter or something, I learn to focus on the screen, like when I'm delivering FEAR. So strategically, I train myself where I want to look in the camera, where I want to look at the screen. So you can train yourself. This is what I would say. And we are
Sure.
talking about this online thing, which is very temporary. Eventually, we have to go back to the real world.
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
may I ask a question, ma'am?
Yes, sure. Speech crafter Vikas, go ahead.
Good evening, ma'am. I just
Good
want to
evening.
ask, ma'am, we have to give the expressions while delivering our speech. I just want to know what should be the limit of the expressions given on our face. Should we go to up to a certain limit, or whether there should be some differentiation between dramatization and expressing?
Yes, expressing what you are saying. Yes, I get a lot of feedback. I get a lot of comments on, like, you dramatize. But the thing is, the people who know me, I am like this as a person. So it is like I want to be what I feel when I had joined 5 years back into public speaking. It was I used to look up to these people, who would go on the stage, confidently speak, and I wanted to be like them. But when I had the journey, when I came ahead, I said the best thing to do is be yourself. So basically, once you overcome the fear of having an audience in front of you, when they say, "Oh, she's so confident," it's because, once I've overcome the fear, I become myself. The more I am myself, I will connect with Vikas more. If I try to be like, say, Gayatri ma'am, who's my mentor, if I try to be as smooth as her, I will just be a replica. I will never be myself, and I will never connect with the audience. So now, because if you feel your comfort zone is, you can't do this action, you can't do this gestures, khalli walli. It doesn't matter. You win, you lose. You be yourself. So learn to be what element you have. Yes, this is your style. Have your style. Upgrade your skill. Upgrade your skill is like I can improve upon my English. I can improve upon my delivery. I can improve upon my content. But you don't have to be as expressive as me, because I'm naturally like that. Even off screen, if you see, I am this way. So even on screen, I'm the same. But if you feel that, no, I'm very stuck, people are saying I cannot do it. No, Vikas, you be Vikas. But smile more often. Like I'm telling Marutesh, smile. I tell you, the way to beat nervousness is smile. The minute you smile, the audience smile back at you. You also relax, and they also relax. There's a saying which says, "Smile, fake it till you make it." So, because next time, be confident, fake your confidence till you actually become confident. Yes.
Thank you.
Hello, ma'am. Good
Yes.
evening, ma'am.
Yes, Suresh.
Yeah. Ma'am, you have a brilliant way of adding humor in your speeches. So, is there any technique to add humor in our speeches?
You go attend the meeting at Laugh Out Loud. We have a Laugh Out Loud club in District 20, and I'm the president. Yes. So, technique of adding humor. Yeah, this is what, that you don't become a stand-up comedian, or you don't become humorous overnight. But there are a lot of techniques where you can break and inculcate humor, because in today's world, I'll tell you, especially youngsters, their attention span is very bad. Even if you see a video, you see, oh my god, more than 1 minute. Even we said we don't want to even see. The videos are 1 minute, not 30 seconds. You see all this TikTok and reels and all. More than 30 seconds, people don't want to see. So the attention span has reduced. Now, if I'm giving you a workshop, if I give you, and you see the COVID situation is so serious around, people don't want anything serious. So you have to break the tone. You have to break the monotony. So there are tricks of doing it. Now, how will I do? Yes, Suresh, you went to Japan. Suddenly you feel that connection, you will smile. Is there a humor in it? No. But why did I get the smile? Because I broke the connection. Or, somewhere there are a lot of techniques, like self-deprecation is there, or some incident. There are a lot of techniques of humor. So as I said, that you come to the club, because there also we are learning how to introduce humor. Now, for me, I'm a naturally humorous person. But as I said, everybody don't have to be stand-up comedian. You have to just learn these injecting humor, small snippets. That's about it. That is all is required. Don't be stand-up comedians.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other question? Actually, the format of organizer speech is different, but I prefer, I have a practical experience of giving speeches. So that's why I broke the protocol. I made the pointers. So this whole presentation was done by me to be more effective, which can be more interactive and you can see. And I introduced over element. Let me tell you, there are few elements, so I overdid it so I could emphasize those points. So I think I'm over time now.
Yes,
If there
ma'am.
are no
It's
more,
not overtime. It's perfect.
perfectly
7:28 right
timed.
now. Yeah.
We can still
Okay.
take some 5 or 6 more questions if anyone has any more.
If anyone has, sure.
Okay, I have a question, ma'am. Whenever
Yeah,
we
Surya.
to organize our speech and fit in all the elements, is it absolutely mandatory for us to use props or any of the elements that you've said? Is it mandatory to put everything into one speech itself, or it depends on the speech that we are giving?
No, as I said that in presentations, less is more. If you want to impact more, speak less. I have very less element. Otherwise, people will not remember. This happened in one of the speakers. She gave about table topic. Excellent presentation, but she had so many elements. When in the end I tried to recall, I couldn't remember it. So that is when I gave her the feedback that you don't have to tell everything. Just tell these key points. From that, identify, and basically there is a power of 3. They always say that within 5 to 7 minutes or anything, always have these 3 points. Come back to those 3 points. You see all these keynote effective speakers, that's what they use. And prop, it's like Hindi movie. In Hindi movie, you see they have a storyline and suddenly from out of the blues one song will come, and you say there is no place for this song. Why are you putting the song in between? So don't unnecessarily add props just for the sake of adding props. There are no effective ways, in the sense, like if it is supplementing or complementing your, not supplementing, complementing your speech, then you use a prop. Unnecessarily don't say I want to create impact. Too many spices or too many cooks will spoil the meal. So basically I would say that you may be very knowledgeable doesn't mean you have to give everything at one shot. You will spoil the whole speech. Just ensure few elements, that's it. And as I told you, effective opening and closing should be mugged up by heart them thoroughly. Don't take chances with your opening and your closing. Body, yes, you can have pointers and you can speak on that, because be more natural. Otherwise what will happen, if you memorize a speech, you become plastic. If you memorize a speech, what will happen is, like, suddenly you forget one word and you'll get nervous. Oh my god, I forgot. And even memorizing is also technique. If you are very good orator, you will have pointers. Otherwise, what I used to do initially is, I would, like how you give exam, I would remember how you start the sentences. Once I know the starting, I would know the whole paragraph. So there are techniques of memorizing it as well. And by the way, let me tell you, now there is a convention, World Championship of Public Speaking. Do attend it. You will see the best of the speakers. So those speakers, the speech, how many times they practice? More than 1,000 times. Can you do that? If you want to be a champion, you need to rehearse the speech minimum 1,000 times. And all champion will say that. So you can just imagine.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, do we have any questions for TABASSUM, ma'am? Anyone? Well, I think yesterday, I have to tell you this, ma'am. Yesterday, I conducted the education session. I asked them, do you have any questions? And 1 or 2. So usually I have this thing, I'll always say that if you don't have any questions, because of 2 things, either number 1, you've understood everything, number 2, you've not understood anything. So for me, I think it was the latter. Today you have so many questions, I think.
Yeah, so I hope everybody's understood everything, that they have so many questions. Even I'll get worried. I think Anil Kumar is raising his finger.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Tabassum, ma'am, it was a wonderful presentation from you. I really thoroughly enjoyed the entire presentation. And one question what I have is about the voice modulation. How, any particular trick you use to modulate or get some feel into the character what you're
Yeah, today, in fact, I underplayed because otherwise, I was using a lot of voice modulation. But as I said, I'm overexpressive. I'm overexpressive, and for me, I get the feedback of like, go little undermine yourself. Now, for example, child, when you're saying a child, hello, mama, I lowered my voice to give that impact. Or when I show the instructor, I made it hello, like jump. So I could use that element of that jump. So you can manipulate your voice a little bit. And the best thing is like record your voice. I used to hate listening to my own speeches. If I would give the speech that I would not like to listen to me, but I was told, no, listen to your own speeches, you will understand. So trust me, when you hear your own speeches, that is where you start improving. Although how much ever you'll hate it, but you need to get into listening to your speech, especially in Zoom, I would say. If you are giving anything online, the best thing is you can record yourself in Zoom and you can see how effectively you can deliver. And during the offline, when we would have a meeting, so I was told that do your voice recording. The best is don't have any video, just do your voice. So the minute you listen to your voice, that is more effective. But that is one of the worst things. Trust me, if you have to do now, looking at your own self, delivering is one of the most boring things. You have to get into the grind.
Thank you.
Welcome. And best, I'm telling you, the tip which I took 5 years to learn is be yourself. Be yourself. Once you get over the public feeling, you are the best person. Don't be anyone's replica. It is people want to see you. The more you are yourself, the more original, authentic, and connected you will be. So always remember, believe in yourself. Don't try to be like me. Don't try to be like Surya. Don't try to be like anyone. Yes, you can get impressed by them, have mentors, take ideas from them, but in the end, you bring yourself out. So I would say all of you, we all are unique like everyone else.
Ma'am, one more question. Actually, I had a doubt that did I do a wrong thing by presenting a personal story? I mean,
Absolutely no. In fact, this is one of the platform which I love. I love is this people pay money to come here and listen to your personal story. Otherwise, who has time to listen? And personal story is something which will connect. If I tell you a story of Colonel Sanders, oh, I've already seen on the net. Or if I tell you one of the great person, you already know it's on the net. But it is your personal story, and the more you tell your personal story, the better it will, the more you will connect with the audience. And trust me, people want to hear your personal story. That is how you see the TED Talks and all, any of those talk, they will always tell their personal story, their personal trials and tribunals. So what Rajeshwari you did is you told a personal story, and if you see the chat column, you see how well you connected with everybody with your personal story. It was so deep. We all were very touched with it.
actually,
So
ma'am,
please.
I'm trying to aspiring for the TED Talk. So I'm mostly focusing on certain personal incidents and stories. So that's what I'm looking forward for.
All the best. I'm sure you'll do well, but you're a very serious person. I would give one suggestion is like what happened if it is very serious, at times break the tone by adding little bit of humor. If you see, I like Arunima Sinha, the amputee who climbed Everest. You see, she has a very serious story that she told, but there were so many elements of, where she lightened the mood. Because what will happen if you say only serious, somewhere now you lose the connection of the audience. So somewhere down the line, script it, that you break it down, and then again you come back to your serious aspect. Because I know you have something very, very serious to share. So all the best. Do share the link. We would love to see you on the TED. All the best. Devanand, I like your name and I can see your hand is raised. Devanand, would you like to ask something? I think we are going over time.
Okay, it was a nice speech, ma'am. I really enjoy. And in future, if I want to join your club, is it possible?
You want to join my club, I'll be more than welcome. But Surya's like saying, oh, not her club, it's my club, please join. Yes, you can definitely join, but I don't know. I'm staying in Kuwait and my clubs are in Kuwait. So right now we're not open for hybrid
Okay.
Yeah, so it will be difficult for you plus the timing effect. But yes, inshallah, when I later on when I come to India, our timings are the same. You can join my club wherever I join when I come for
Sure.
good. Yeah, because we are
Sure.
NRIs temporary here.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Surya, relax, relax. I'm not encouraging anyone to join in Kuwait.
Okay, brilliant. I think
Okay,
that
thank you so much. Yes, thank
this
you.
brings us to
Back
the
to
end.
you.
Let's give a round of applause for Tabassum, ma'am, everyone. Come on. I mean, this was just, I mean, a life-changing session. I'm preparing for next year's World Championship of Public Speaking, and I felt this was exactly what, the top ingredients, the raw materials I needed. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I'm going to irritate you so much with sending you my speech drafts and all. I'm sure you won't feel bothered.
No, no, definitely. But even I'm planning to compete, so I don't want competition. You be the
Tabassum,
tortoise. Somebody was saying
Tabassum
about the
ma'am.
tortoise now, Ashutosh. Yeah, don't become hare and rabbit and jump so fast. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
Tabassum
yeah,
ma'am, please,
yeah.
please add me as your mentee as well. Like, along with him, I would like to join. So I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
sure,
like
sure, sure.
getting mentored from you will be a blessing to us.
Definitely, definitely. Jokes apart, I would definitely like to mentor is because in Toastmasters, whatever you learn, I did a speech craft, and now when I became an advisor and I'm guiding someone else to become better speaker, I think there is no greater feeling than that. So more than welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
All the best. All the best to all of you for
Thank you.
becoming great speakers and great people as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
This is great. This is great. Okay, so I think now we can have our general evaluation session. So we request Uma ma'am to kindly give us her evaluation. Uma ma'am, over to you.
Good evening, friends. The meeting, that is day 2 of Speechcraft session, started with our Sergeant at Arms, Dr. Surya, welcoming everyone, telling the mission statement, and also giving the ground rules. And then we were divided into 2 rooms. The icebreaker speakers were in one room, and the table topic speakers were sent to a different room. And Chayal, Anchal, myself, and the table topic speakers, we were in the different room. So there, Chayal gave us a beautiful topic or theme for table topic. It was colors. So as colorful as she is, she gave us, the table topic speakers, different colors to speak on. It started with red, went to green, yellow, pink, then orange, white, and finally black. So every topic was taken by the table topic speakers. I should say they were really professionals. Though they are initiated into speechcraft for the first time, they spoke really well. And I was the evaluator and Anchal was the timer. So I could give them very few recommendations, I should say. I was very impressed by their speeches. Kudos to all the table topic speakers. I should say we missed the icebreaker speeches, as I heard from our main speaker of the day, Tabassum ma'am, who gave us the wonderful speech about how we have to organize a speech. Hats off to her. I really bow down to her and would like to say that all of us would like to be her. We would like to take mentorship under her. So it was really wonderful the way she organized her speech in telling us how we can organize a speech. So as she says, smile costs less than electricity, but sheds more light. So whenever we add smile to our face, it gives more face value. And the way she organized by saying that you have to have 3 T's, 3 C's, and also have start with a bang and end with a bang. And whenever you include stories in your session or speech, you add more value. Your personal incidents and the way you convey with body language, how you emote yourself, the way the voice modulation was done, it was simply superb. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us your insights, and we are very thankful to you. So this was the summary of today's day 2. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Uma ma'am. Let's give a round of applause for the brilliant general evaluation. Let's open up for, we will have a little few minutes of Q&A, and then we'll also have the business session at the same time. So before we open for the ones who were supposed to present their icebreaker speeches who could not present, will be presenting it next week. And the others, team B, will be presenting their icebreaker speeches next week on Monday. On Monday, we have an education on how to evaluate a speech, after which now you're witnessing our the Toastmasters are evaluating you all, but from the speech 2 onwards, you all will be evaluating each other. Okay, so we'll divide the whole structure accordingly. Regarding the announcements, I have the best speaker and the best table topic speaker. So just give me a moment. Yeah, so the best speaker award, we have a tie between Rajeshwari ma'am and Kavya ma'am. So let's give a round of applause. Rajeshwari ma'am and Kavya ma'am. As the best table speaker, we have Shraddha ma'am, who's also the best table topic speaker. So here's how the next session is going to be. We will be having this structure remains the same. We will having the main section of the room will be for the icebreaker speeches, remaining speeches, and the table topic sessions will go on inside the breakout room. We will just figure out the polling a little bit, and we will be having evaluations. Of course, after the evaluation, we will be equipped, and please do observe the way we are evaluating. Okay, so from the 4th session onwards, you all will be evaluating each other. Okay. Regarding this particular session, icebreaker speeches. So for those who were here, you've been able to understand how a speech was being presented, how a speech was being evaluated, also how to conduct an education session as well. And we also learned of public speaking and everything. So this is just like a mini version of how a Toastmasters meeting works. It's just that it's a little more concise and compact. That's how every particular session is. So we'll open up for questions in case you have any questions related to the speechcraft, related to what you are supposed to do or not. So if you have any kind of questions, please feel free to ask me. Okay, regarding the icebreaker speeches, those who have presented, it's important that I tell this to everyone. We will be, as soon as you're presenting a speech, you will be having your evaluator, right? Who will be evaluating your speech. It is mandatory for you to get the evaluation form. There's an evaluation form which has been circulated to all the evaluators. They will fill in the form, they will give it to you. Okay, so you need to keep a copy for future reference as well. And along with that, we will be giving you the PDFs, the session breakdown, the highlights and everything. We are giving that to you. You've already been assigned with your mentors. So I think your mentors will get in touch with you. Any kind of doubts or anything, please feel free to get in touch with your mentors. And other than that, if you have any other kind of doubts, our facilitators are there. I am there. Yogeshwari is there. We are there to help you out. So do we have any questions? Any questions, any feedback, anything?
Can I?
Yes, Shraddha.
I mean, I should say I missed the chance of listening to our icebreaker speeches, and I would have loved to, because that would have been another learning experience for me as well. So can we do something about it, or either give, get the recordings from your end, or maybe allow us also to witness the same? I know about the paucity of time and the time constraint, but if something could be done about it, learning from each and every speech would be beneficial.
Yes, ma'am. So what we are doing is we are recording the entire meeting, and it will be uploaded in our Speak Magic Toastmasters Club YouTube channel. So for those who are in the table topics room today, can go to the recording and can watch the entire recording and go through all the icebreaker speeches as well. So that I think last session, we are still in the little glitch happened. I think we still need to upload that. But this is being recorded and will. So I think that'll solve the problem.
So I would like to add on here. We have the recording for the last session. So ma'am, even that will be added. No need to be worried, and the link will be shared with you.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have any more questions?
So,
Excuse me,
I
sir.
want to ask
Excuse
the
me.
question. Sorry. Kishore
Yes,
ji. Yeah.
Kishore sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have a question.
Yes, yes.
Actually, today I didn't give icebreaker speech. So next session, I have to give both the table topic and icebreakers, or what is the?
No. So what will happen is we will be having a total of, I think, 8 icebreaker speeches are there, team B, plus 2, I think 2 or 3 members, those who did not give their icebreaker speech today, will be giving their icebreaker speeches next week. So you need not participate in table topics. Just your icebreaker it is for you.
Next session. In the next session, I have to give icebreaker speech.
Yes.
No table
yes,
topic.
Suchitra, no table topics. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I would like to know that the icebreaker speech is for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, right? So in the beginning, you said you formally introduce yourself. I mean, that was what was expected of us. So when you introduce yourself formally, is it going to be a part of that 2 or 3 minutes, or it's about over and above that 2 or 3 minutes that the actual speech is?
Yes, so the icebreaker is a speech where you introduce yourself. So all that you speak is included in the speech itself. So now you use all the techniques and methods that you're learning through the education sessions and you incorporate. Okay. Of course, we'll be guiding you through that. I don't think that will be a problem. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Suryadeep. Actually, I was wondering about that because when we were told that we need to introduce ourselves, but in a different way, you know. You also gave the example that how you introduced yourself as a dentist. So that is what I followed in my speech. One question was, I was wondering whether did I just ignore some points, or did I miss some points of introducing myself completely, you know? Is it necessary to give so much importance to ourselves, this thing, to give a complete details? Not necessary, I think.
I think if you go through the little PDF that we have circulated,
yeah, I read that.
Yeah, yes, so it is written there that you can speak about 1 or 2 experiences of your life, yes, and you can form a speech and you can share. So it's obviously in just 3 minutes, it's not possible to share. Yeah.
Correct. And this icebreaker, now we have done the icebreaker. Next will be table topic. Now the same thing will repeat again and again, or will be given some topics for the next sessions?
Yes. So what will happen is we will be letting you know. So the next speech that you need to give is get to the point. Next speech. So for those who have already presented icebreaker, mentors will be guiding you through on what is the next speech that you need to prepare. Your next speech will be a 3 to 5 minutes, right? That's how the structure of your speech is going to be. You will be incorporating certain other methods and everything. The topic, of course, every single thing your mentors will be guiding you through. Okay, so that's how the whole process is going to be. Every one team presents their speeches, the other team takes up the table topics. Okay, and vice versa. That's how it goes on. And along with the education sessions, that's the complete package per session that we have. Okay, so that's how the structure is going to be. So I think your mentors will be taking you through what's the next step.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do we have any other questions?
One question I have, Dr. Surya.
Yes, sir.
While you evaluated my speech, you mentioned one point, if you remember, that I should have not started with the good evening, fellow speakers, with my story directly. So in the original speech, I have planned to use this pleasantry at the transition stage of speech, but then I removed because there was a track change. So which point I should have given this pleasantry of good evening, or I could have avoided it at all?
If you're giving a speech, let's just say in the Toastmasters or something, the segment in which you need to wish, obviously. But that segment, unfortunately, should not be your first sentence.
Okay.
The first sentence should obviously be how you are catching the attention of the audience. So with techniques like I remember, there's something so common between you and I. Imagine for a moment all those instant connection building words. You speak about the transition, maybe the first introductory line that you give, then you can go on with, okay, good evening, fellow Toastmasters or guests or whatever. Good evening, crafters. And then again, you go on with, okay, I remember, and then you talk about speech, your facts or whatever. So I hope that answers the question, sir. Okay.
If I would have started with that story context that you might have heard the story of rabbit and tortoise race, which ends with the moral, that would have better as a start.
I mean, just think about it, sir. I'll just reframe the question. I will ask you itself. How about I start a speech with, how many of you present here right now has heard about the hare tortoise story? Give me a raise of hands. Instantly, you see some people will be raising their hands. Okay, that's how you build connection. So I think that's the strategy that you can apply.
Understood.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Devanand sir had a question. Yes, tell me, sir.
Dr. Suryadev, good evening.
Yes.
I have some basic questions about this club. Because I have not gone through the PDF. Just want to ask you how to choose the mentor, and if I want to prepare for the iceberg speech and the tabletop speech, is the registration required?
Yeah, this particular Speechcraft program, the registrations has already happened, and the speech crafters are here. Okay, so I think right now our registration and everything is closed. So should you choose to maybe join a Toastmasters as such, then you can get in touch with me. I can help you with joining the Toastmasters club and what are the things that you're going to get alongside that. But the Speechcraft, if you're planning to be a part of the Speechcraft, so this is the second session, so the registration are. So I hope that answers your question. So do we have?
Thank you.
Yeah. Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, so I want to know, Dr. Suryadeep, that what is the difference of difference between the Toastmasters Club and the Speechcraft? This thing, are they related? I mean, are they one entity or what? I mean, I'm a little confused here.
Okay, yeah, that's a very, very good question.
Yeah.
So the Speechcraft is one of the components. It's one of the what do you call it? I mean, the babies of Toastmasters. I think that's the best way to put it. Speechcraft gives you an opportunity, closed, comprised delivery of and techniques and trainings over a period of 8 sessions. So joining the Toastmasters is more like a long-term commitment. You need to have the membership fees every week. It's the whole big problem. In Speechcraft, what you're learning is the techniques and methods of public speaking. You're presenting a few speeches and you are equipped with all the skills that you need. And also you're getting a certificate. Okay. After the Speechcraft gets completed, I think on the graduation day, we will be giving you details about how to join a Toastmasters club. Should any of you join the Toastmasters club, then we will be giving you all the other details that you need to know back then. Having said that you asked this question, ma'am, the speeches that you all are presenting here, you will be presenting your icebreaker speech, get to the point, and one more. Total of 3 speeches you will be presenting. Once you choose to join the Toastmasters, you need not repeat the same speeches. It will already be given a tick mark. So you can proceed with speeches directly. So that's how it is.
And once a person enrolls in one session, say this is a 8-day session of Speechcraft, then can the person join again the same session, or we need to then join Toastmasters and go ahead with it? I mean, can I join this session the next time, or it's enough? I mean,
no, the Speechcraft session, I think once more than enough.
Is enough. Okay.
Yeah, more than enough.
Okay.
Absolutely. If you truly want to escalate your journey from here, obviously the best thing to do would be to join the Toastmasters club.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yes, Nidhi ma'am. You're not audible, ma'am.
And now am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So about the icebreaker speech, I'm presenting in this Speechcraft session. So if I join Toastmaster, I need not give the icebreaker session. That is what my question is.
Yes, exactly, ma'am. So once you join as a Toastmaster, you need not present your icebreaker speech. This particular speech itself will be taken into consideration.
Okay, so we are just going up,
Yes.
just jumping
So,
up.
so this is the part of the pathway that we were talking about yesterday.
Exactly. Yes. Do we have any more questions? Perfect. So I think with that
So
yeah.
one question, last one question.
Yes. Yeah.
So after completing the speech cap, we can directly join to the Toastmaster Club, right?
Yes, exactly. As soon as the speech club gets over, we'll be giving you the details of how to join a Toastmasters club. Prefer that you join our club. So we'll be giving you all of those
Really?
details. Yeah, we'll be giving you all the details, and you can join. You can choose to join as soon as the speech club session gets over. So we'll give you all the details. Not to worry about it. Okay.
Free speeches would be covering the first level, is it? Crossing the first level, is it?
Sorry, I did.
Free speeches you said will be covering, as you said. So that would be level 1, completion of level 1, is that?
So that comes under the pathways learning experience, in which you will be having certain projects. Every single project will be a speech. So the speeches that you're presenting here will be considered once you join as a Toastmaster. So ideally, the level 1 consists of 4 speeches in total, out of which in 3, I think 2 of level 1 and 1 speech of level 2 will be considered. So you can just finish the remaining and then you can finish off your levels. So I think that answers. Yes, Nidhi ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, you are on mute.
How many levels are there totally?
Okay, so every pathway consists of 5 levels,
Okay.
and a total of 14 to 16 speeches, depending on which pathway you choose.
Okay.
Dr. Suresh?
Yes, sir.
Doctor, I just want to know that is it possible to attend Toastmaster meeting as a guest? And I heard that there we can present as a guest, we can present the speeches as a guest also. We can be evaluated in those meetings. So how to go ahead?
Yes, definitely, sir. So, for example, the upcoming week, today is Wednesday. Saturday, we have a Toastmasters meeting in our clubs. We will be sending you the link, and you can definitely join. So that's the beauty. I mean, join any Toastmaster club as a guest, and you can participate in table topics. If you want to present speeches, then you have to be a registered Toastmaster. So that's how the whole process works.
So are you going to send the link in the group?
Yes.
Of us?
Yes, in the group I'll send. On Saturday I'll send the agenda of the meeting, and I think the last week also I sent it, but I sent it really late, and I want to apologize for that. So this week I'll make sure earlier. Yeah.
Hello.
I think, yeah.
Hello.
Yes, Devanand sir.
Dr. Suryadev, I have a question. If I want to present my speech, is it possible now, or I have to wait for another session to start?
You want to present your speech where, sir? Here?
Here.
So here, I think the speech craft program, the registrations are closed. So should you choose to present your speech, you may want to join directly as a Toastmaster, sir. So I'll get in touch with you after the meeting, I think, and we'll go through the details. Okay. Yeah. So I think that marks the end of our question. Does anybody have any other questions? I guess no, right? Okay, perfect. So we'll see you again on Monday, and all the details and every single thing, we will be posting it tomorrow, day after, whatever assignments that you all need to have, and coordinate with your mentors as well. We'll see you on Monday again, sharp 6 o'clock. And for those, obviously, we are inviting you for the meeting, for our club meeting on Saturday. Yogi, do you want to add anything?
No, I think you have covered up everything. So before adjourning the meeting, I could see everyone is interested and enthusiastic to learn. And I think you are way more impressed by each other's fellow members' speech as well as by TABASSUM ma'am. Like, I mesmerized thoroughly. It was a brilliant speech, and it was a typical Toastmaster speech. So that's how, even if you get to see the champions, that's how they'll speak. So what I would suggest is you can go Google or in the YouTube, just type World Champions Toastmasters, World Champions speeches. You will get a lot of speeches. Go through, you will have a good idea about it. And then for sure, we'll send you the link in the group. Please do join the club's meeting if you are free. So this week we have a very, very special meeting, because one of my first mentor from whom I have learned, who is very close to my heart, in fact. So he have achieved his DTM project. So he is now Distinguished Toastmaster, which is a huge title, in fact, and a big journey. So we are gonna honor him in this upcoming meeting. It'll be a grand event, and we will be inviting area directors who are the higher officials in Toastmasters Club, and many higher officials whom my mentor DTM Hemant has journeyed with. So those people will be talking about him and his journey. It will be a good enlightening session on what is Toastmasters all about. So I invite you to the Speak Magic Toastmasters Club meeting, which will be held every Saturday, 6 to 8 p.m. So this is the timing. Please make yourself available for that, and I'll post the link in the group. So with that, I would like to adjourn the meeting for today. See you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Great learning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Bye. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, and bye, everybody.